Alright, so video update. Been pretty busy this week. Had to run some errands to a different town that I just moved from. And so I haven't really done anything, but I did go to Home Depot yesterday. Not the days that I was saying I was going to, but I got the items that I needed. And it was supposed to rain all day today, but the news this morning said that it wasn't going to start raining until like noon. And I've been out here about an hour, and it's 9 o'clock. And so I've got a couple hours to hopefully work with, and here's what I'm doing. So I got the vapor barrier stapled down on the sides. I don't have any running on the tops here. I did run a couple, but then I thought that was a bad idea. So I just stapled it on the sides. There you go. All right. Man, my depth perception is off today. All right here. Got all the staples in, and then I am running the aluminum valley flashing down the middle, and then I'm going to run strips down so that I got a nice overlap. What I'm doing with the valley flashing is I am running it over the edges, and then hopefully that'll keep water from getting up into here, because the siding should sit here and water would have to come up and over to get into it. I'm also going to be running some caulking on all the edgings here, all the edgings here. I got this piece screwed down, and I started looking at it, and I started thinking to myself how I'm going to lay this next piece down. I would have done the screws different. I'm not going to take them out, but the next ones I'm going to do different. What I did was the screws here, I would have ran them further in so that the pieces that overlap didn't sit on top of these and cause any bubbling. These are going to be really hard to get to for caulking. I guess I'm not going to get to the caulking with these. So I'll run the rest of the aluminum flashing. I'll run the nails or the screws a little further in until I get to the edges, and then I'll run the nails different. So I also forgot to put screws in right here on the top of it after I did the edging. So there is a little bit of bowing in this piece, but it should be alright. I'll run the screws in, and it may look a little wonky. That's alright. Learning process. I'm not good at really thinking that far forward at some of the details, so I know I'm going to run into a lot of issues. That's alright. We'll make it happen. So I'm going to use the rest of my time to get this flashing done, maybe take a few pictures, depending on how much time I have to scramble out of the rain when it picks up. I also did buy a tarp over there, and I will set that walling back on top of this, and then drape the tarping back over it like I have been. This wood's a little damp, but it's alright. I'm not going to finish the top of the subflooring. I'm going to give it a little bit of time to dry. I can finish out a few more walls before I cut up the OSB board and do that. So progress is progress, one step closer. Saw a couple items at Lowe's that I wanted, and the guy that's going to help me with the electrical, I'm going to talk to him and run a few ideas by him. There's a on-demand water heater that's pretty tiny, just under 12 inches by 12, like it's smaller than that. It's not very wide either. It's going to require a little bit more power than I anticipated, so I'm going to see what kind of options that I can do. Maybe, it might sound stupid, but run all the high-powered items off of a different plug, like the water heater, maybe a stovetop or something else off of the 220, and then run off all the other items off of a 120. I know that's probably going to require more work or whatever, but That way I could plug in and use the essentials, and then when I have the opportunity I can plug into a more powerful outlet to use the other things that aren't a necessity. Like, you know, we don't have to have hot water, but it sure would be nice. Cold showers are, they're cold. Anyway, running a little longer here than I anticipated, but wanted to give you guys a little bit of update. Won't get very far, but I have more days to work with. I think my next day off is like Wednesday or Thursday, so hopefully it doesn't rain and I can use just the whole day and just put a huge dent into it, because that day would be big for finishing out the framing, getting all of that done. I will have a little bit more vapor barrier and valley flashing to do on some other pieces. So the pieces that come up and then over, I'm going to do the over bits with some vapor barrier aluminum flashing, and then the part that runs over the cab, I'm going to do that to it as well. But wish me luck. See you guys later.